Hi, I'm Cindy Bruflot with the Detroit Lakes Area League of Women Voters with another session of Snack Size Civics. And with me today is Don Skarie. Thank you for being here, Don.
Thank you for doing this.
Don, you've served on the county commission, so I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself and then a little bit about your time in service with the county.
Okay, well, I'm born and raised in Detroit Lakes. Grew up on a farm north of Floyd Lake. My wife Pam and I raised 6 kids in the farm, and after attending Detroit Lakes High School, I went to NDSU and then came back to farm full time. I did it for 45 years, I guess.
Wow.
And we also started a greenhouse. We raise hydroponic tomatoes. My wife runs a catering service. And I did spend 10 years serving as a county commissioner. It was a really rewarding time for me. You know, you're giving your service, but you really get more out of it, I think, than you put into it. So it was really good for me.
Wonderful. What are some qualifications that somebody might want to, if they're considering maybe running for office, what are some qualifications, time commitments, expectations of that?
Well, I think if you're going to jump into it with, you know, cold feet, with no experience in anything, you got problems.
Okay.
Now, I served on the Planning and Zoning Committee, and also as a township supervisor, different things. I've been on the Fair Board. And I think it just gives you the background to learn how to work with people on a board.
Okay.
It's a really different experience.
Okay. So what kind of time commitments are there involved?
Well, it takes a lot more time than people realize.
I
And this is one problem, you know, if you have a 9-to-5 job with strict hours, you can't do it.
Okay.
You have to have a flexible job or maybe be retired.
Okay.
But it's there's a lot of meetings. You know, I don't know how many hours a week, but you know, you have the 2 commission meetings, probably 7 or 8 committee meetings.
What kind of committee meetings are you talking about?
Well, there's different areas. You have environmental, you have sheriff, highway, human services. So there's 2 commissioners on each one.
Okay.
And there's a lot of minor committees too. So some meet monthly, some quarterly. There's some out-of-town travel. Some of the commissioners need to be involved with the state organization, legislatures. There's just a lot going on.
Is there training involved as you take on that responsibility?
There is a training that you go to down in the cities. The AMC provides a training. It's, you know, pretty basic, but you get to meet some, and one thing about the job too, you meet a lot of people from other parts of the state and other commissioners, so it's really good that way.
You mentioned other committee meetings. What are some of the committees that feed into the county and the decisions that you make?
Well, are you talking about through the state or?
No, within the county itself. You mentioned what, planning and zoning, or?
Yeah, well, there'll be a commissioner on that. I think, you know, planning and zoning is obviously a really important area, and it's kind of been an area that's, I don't know, there's been a little movement away from control.
Oh.
I think you know, you can over-regulate, but you can also under-regulate. And lately there's been a little bit of push to kind of pull back on that, which to me is a little worrisome.
Okay. So I'm just trying to, you'd mentioned like qualifications or how somebody wants to get involved in the abilities. So besides planning and zoning, are there other areas that would get you involved so that the move into running for office would
I
be
was
easier?
also, like I said, I was a township supervisor.
Okay.
And that's another area. I really encourage people to run for these offices. Now, there's township people who've been on these boards for 20, 25 years simply because nobody else will do it. It's because they want to be on that long. But it just gives you a background, and people, you know, it's easy to complain about government, but when you get in there and start doing it, you realize it's not quite as simple as people think.
Certainly. Well, I guess that's where I'm kind of wondering, even with younger people getting informed, if they can have small bites or small tastes of what it would be like, that then they grow in confidence and knowledge in order to participate. So.
Well, the other thing is all these meetings are online. You go on the county website, they're all recorded, and it's really a good way to pick up on what's going on. And that's only been going on for the last 3-4 years, and I think it was a really good change.
Wonderful. How many commissioners are there on our county board?
There's 5.
5. And how are the wards or districts broken up?
Well, it's by population.
Okay.
It's like, for instance, Detroit Lakes, 2 of the precincts in Detroit Lakes have one. And a couple of them are quite large. I think in the east there's probably 20 townships in it, just because but it does go by population.
Okay. what influences or responsibilities that the commissioners have to oversee? You'd mentioned sheriff. What happens at the Becker County Courthouse? You're the governing body, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, so you're also like the HR department in a way, or how does that work?
Commissioners really aren't.
Okay.
Your job is to set policy
Okay,
and set the budget, the levy. You set policy, but the administrator, you don't interfere in employee things.
okay.
That's the administrator's job. So it's kind of important to have that separation.
And does the administrator also sit within the commission as far as meetings?
Oh,
And
they're at all the meetings, yeah.
All the meetings? So any specific stories or something you would like to share as your time on the commission?
Oh, I don't know.
Success stories, that you'd like to,
I don't know. One thing I was involved in was when the 3 counties went together for Partnership for Health. We had our own health department, and we still do, but I think it was a really good move. I was the only one on the commission at the time that really pushed for it, and we joined up with Clay and Otter Tail County.
And what was the Tri-County Health?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the outcome of that? Remind me.
Well, it's just a more efficient way to do it.
Pooling all the resources together? Okay.
We still kept our own employees, but they helped as far as grant writing,
Okay.
and they hadn't had experience in past years with Monoman County that fell apart.
Oh,
So that kind of soured everybody
Sure.
on it, but I think it turned out really well.
okay. Well, thank you, Don, for joining us today. I appreciate the heads up and inviting others that get involved
Yeah.
at the committee levels.
Yes.
So that you might consider running for office of the county
Yeah,
commission.
that's really important.
Okay. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Appreciate it. And thank you for joining us today, and thank you to West Central Initiative and the VFW for their sponsorship.